Welcome listeners to today's episode of Beyond the File, Transforming Care Through Connection. I'm joined today by Alex, an experienced social worker, and Tina, a care-experienced young adult now actively involved in training social workers. Welcome both. Thanks for having us. It's a crucial topic. Great to be here. This conversation is close to my heart. Let's dive right in. Alex, can you tell us from your experience what looked after children truly need from the care system? Absolutely. A significant aspect is reliability. Children in care have often faced loss and instability. They need social workers and carers who show up as promised and are transparent about what they can offer. I can vouch for that. From my experience, turning promises into practice daily is what builds trust. Tina, as someone who has been through the system, what resonates with you from what Alex just said? The notion of reliability resonates strongly. Also, being seen and respected as a whole person, not just a file or a risk. Celebrating small successes and knowing that the adults around care about more than just ticking boxes. That's powerful. It aligns with the corporate parenting principles, where the local authority doesn't just provide paper-based lives, but engages deeply. What about preparation for independence, Alex? How can we better prepare care leavers? Starting early is key. It can't be rushed just before they turn 18. We need to integrate life skills into their daily routines well before independence looms. Totally agree. For me, it felt like being pushed off a cliff without a parachute. Practical life skills teaching needs to start early, and emotional support afterwards is crucial. And emotional support seems to tie back to the relationships and being seen, right? Exactly. Feeling like you have someone in your corner who genuinely cares makes a big difference in navigating adult life. That's why continuity is important. Absolutely. Too many changes in social workers can be destabilizing. Informal interactions, like going for a coffee, also help build these needed relationships. In terms of diversity and inclusion, Tina, how does it play into supporting young people in care? Workers understanding ethnic, cultural, and personal backgrounds is vital. It reduces feelings of isolation and helps in identity development. Anti-oppressive practices and cultural competence shouldn't just be ideals, but practical realities we engage with daily. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your parting thoughts on how we can implement these insights. For professionals, it's about holding on to these commitments. Reliability, seeing more than the file, starting independence early, creating real spaces for talking, and never giving up on the young people. This kind of care can transform lives. Yes, these are not just practices, but commitments to make a meaningful impact. This mindset shift could redefine many experiences in care. Thank you both for sharing your insights and personal experiences with us today. It's been enlightening. Thank you for the platform. Appreciate it. Listeners, let these insights guide you in making a difference in the lives of young people in care. Until next time, keep listening and caring. Goodbye. So as we were talking about earlier, having a strong foundation of trust and stability is crucial for kids in care. But let's dig a bit deeper into what cultural competence actually means in this context. Can you share some insights, perhaps from your experiences or the stories from the field? Absolutely. Cultural competence involves understanding and respecting the cultural backgrounds of the children in care. It's about acknowledging and celebrating their diverse histories and ensuring their unique cultural needs are met. For example, when a child from a particular cultural group is placed in care, it's essential to ensure access to food, traditions, or religious practices respected by that culture. That makes sense. It seems like such a basic right, yet it can be overlooked if carers aren't appropriately trained or mindful. In practical terms, how can caregivers be more culturally aware? Training is key. Offering workshops or courses that educate carers on different cultural identities and their specific needs is a good start. But beyond formal training, it's about authentic engagement, actually listening to the children, and sometimes even involving community members from similar backgrounds to provide perspectives or guidance. Listening seems to be a recurring theme in improving care. Listening to understand, rather than just to respond, right? Exactly. Listening helps build those lasting relationships we've been emphasizing. It's where they feel seen and valued for who they are, not just another case file or statistic. An individual approach is crucial. There's something powerful about personal stories and real connections. We've talked about independence preparation before. How does this cultural mindfulness align with helping children transition successfully to independence? When you respect and nurture a child's cultural identity, you're giving them a strong sense of self, which is critical when they step out into the wider world. It helps them find their place and voice in society. It's essentially about equipping them, not just with life skills, but with cultural pride and the confidence to succeed. Those are solid points. And from what I understand, helping them build a network outside of formal care is another important aspect of preparing them for independence, right? Yes, that's right. Encouraging children to connect within their communities can help them establish supportive relationships that might persist beyond their time in care. Involvement in community events, mentorship programs, or other social groups can really make a difference. The right support system certainly sounds like it can make all the difference in their journey to adulthood. As we wrap up this episode, let's highlight some of the ongoing efforts or programs that are making an impact. Sure, one such program that comes to mind is the mentorship initiatives that pair care-experienced individuals with young people still in the system. These mentors provide guidance and encouragement based on shared experiences. And then there are educational grants and scholarships that help those in care access higher education, opening up new opportunities. So inspiring. It really shows how collaborative approaches can yield positive outcomes for these young people. Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts today and shedding light on such critically important topics. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure discussing these issues, and I'm hopeful as we continue working towards more inclusive and supportive care systems.